Yeah. Chris Ernest. Wow, I was lulled into a beautiful space of, I don't know what, it was gorgeous. Thank you, Chris. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, all, and those coming in and those online, good morning. I'm Reverend Karen Mitchell. I'm your assistant minister here, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to the High Desert Center for Spiritual Living in our beautiful community of Apple Valley. Yeah. So because of the health and safety of our community, it's our highest priority, and we're requiring you to wear masks at all times while in the building, unless you're speaking from the platform like this. We are going to have great music today, as always, with our music director, Chris Ernest, and myself, teaming up for you. But, you know, sad for me to say we don't have congregational singing going on at this time, so you'll be singing along in your heads, and it'll be beautiful. I'll pretend that I can hear you. Some songs in the program may have changed, so just beware, and we'll just help you through it, okay? So now, you know what's coming. We're going to open our service with I Release, and I Let Go. Here we go. I'm going to feel you singing it with me, okay? There was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all for myself. I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient, and I didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged and you're struggling just to make it through another day, you've got to let it go. Come on now, let it go. Just go like this. I'm letting it all go. And this is what you have to say. I release. Come on, get up. And I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yeah. All right, now I'm awake. How about you? Woo. So, what I want you to know, and which hopefully you already know, is that we are an all-inclusive center of love, where we recognize and celebrate each person as a divine and unique expression of the one Spirit in all. Together, we're co-creating a world that works for everyone. We teach and embody the science of mind principles to support our core values of love, healing, spiritual growth, oneness, abundance, service, and diversity. Welcome home. Is there anyone here for the first time? Anybody visiting us for the first time today?
First time today.
First time today? How about the second time today? Is anyone, did they come early and visit us once before? Okay. if you're here for the first time, just so you all know, so you can tell your friends to come and visit us for the first time, you get a fabulous welcome packet, and we have a little gift in there for you to use. So, those of you online, come in for the first time. Okay. So I want to announce this amazing class that's coming up, and I know that a lot of y'all have already signed up for it, yes? So this is the Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life class. How many raise of hands to, oh wow. Yeah, it's going to be fantastic. This is where you really learn how to co-create the kind of life that you want, okay? So this course is an accredited class. So it's been accredited by Centers for Spiritual Living to give you credit if you're on the practitioner track, if you're working towards thinking about maybe being a practitioner, you're interested, this counts towards that. If you want to be elected as a board member and serve on the board in this center, you just need one class within the last 5 years, and this qualifies for that class. So invest in your future, in yourself, and this sounds like an amazing class. So we have flyers out there in the garden room. The sign-up sheet is in the garden room. We know that it starts Monday, and it's going to be every Monday for 5 weeks, starting on September 27th. And it's going to be facilitated by our own interim minister, Reverend Dr. Sharon Hudson, and our fabulous practitioner, Ms. Lori Smith. So, you got some powerful women there facilitating this class. So sign up in the garden room, and I would like to now introduce our board president, Ms. Joanne Bitzel.
Thank you and good morning. So I have your announcements for this week. You're invited to join us every Sunday before service at 9:30 for a beautiful 45-minute meditation led by our practitioner of the day. What?
You said 45 minutes.
Oh, that's because it's over at 9:45. You were paying attention, thank you. And Chris Ernest is teaching Tai Chi live here at the center on Tuesdays from 11:30 to 12:30, and this is on a love offering basis. Chris has been teaching Tai Chi for over 20 years. And Chris, can you please say a few words about your class?
I invite everybody to come down and check it out. We don't get on the floor, it's all standing up, and it's breathing and moving, and it'll help keep you flexible, and it's very good for you.
Thanks, Chris. I think it's a wonderful class. Our office and bookstore hours are Monday and Tuesday, 9 to 1, Wednesday, 9 to 12, and Thursday, 10 to 3. Our women's group, Sister Circle, led by our Reverend Karen Mitchell, is on Zoom every 2 weeks. Our next meeting will be on Saturday, September 25th at 11:30 a.m. And please see Reverend Karen if you'd like to participate. Every Sunday, we share the vision for our new minister. And before we do that, I'd like to, even though Joyce isn't here, I'd like to make sure we appreciate Joyce for the beautiful arrangement that she does lovely for us. Thank you, Joyce. So as I said, we want to share the vision for our new minister every Sunday. And we'd ask that you do this daily at home as well. If you'd like a copy of it, I think there are some available at the concierge desk. If they're not, we'll make sure that there are. So our purpose is unity. Our vision is to be a dynamic teaching center where we learn to experience the Spirit within us and to express our full potential in life. Our new minister is comfortable with shared leadership, accessible to our community, has humor, tact, and is kind. Our new minister is intelligent, a fine teacher of science of mind, an inspired speaker, and feeds us spiritually. Our new minister lives the science of mind with integrity, has consciousness of abundance, is authentic and unbiased. Our new minister is enthusiastic, all while being emotionally mature, committed and connected to our community, and wise in all their affairs. Our Our new minister is coming to us now.
Yes.
And now I would like to introduce our practitioner of the day, Lori Smith.
I invite you to please stand if you choose to do so and join me as we read Dr. Ernest Holmes' promises together. They are on the front page of your program. Here we go. I keep the promise that I have made myself to affirm in this moment that I am abundant, healthy, strong, and happy. I keep the intention to daily speak this truth to my inner soul, telling it that it is wonderful and marvelous, that it is one with the great cause of life, truth, power, and action. I whisper these things into my soul until it breaks forth into songs of joy with the realization of its limitless possibilities. I assure my soul.
So with that, the beautiful words of Ernest Holmes, settle in. Let's go a little deeper into our heart. Feel yourself supported by the ground, by the chair you're sitting in. As we remember together who we are as divine, who we are as spirit, we are remembering who we are. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am. I am
Please join me in reading the Community Affirmation, which is in your program on the left side. And we'll read this together. I believe in one power, one living spirit, one indestructible, absolute, and self-existent cause. I believe that spirit expresses through me and is the unity of all life. I believe that all thought is creative and that how I choose to think creates my personal experience. We will now have a musical meditation on the Ho'oponopono prayer. The prayer is, I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you.
This is really a good time to go within and think about if there's any aspect of yourself that you need to forgive. This is not just about forgiving others. Sometimes we're hardest on ourselves. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. We are responsible for what we see. Healing ourselves will heal the world. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. We are responsible for what we see. Healing ourselves will heal the world. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you.
Now let us read the affirmation of the day. It is located in your program insert. And we will read that 3 times together. I am one with all that is. One love, one life, one power. I am one with all that is. One love, one life, one power. One more time. I am one with all that is. One love, one life, one power. And now, Clay, if you'll join me as we light the flames of faith. We perform this ceremony on Sunday to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples and all faiths, all beings come from the one great universal presence, which we call Spirit. The unity candle represents the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here today. We light the first candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light the second candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the third candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the fourth candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the fifth candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the sixth candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the 7th candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of compliance with the will of God as the highest calling. We light the 8th candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light the 9th candle, honoring all forms of New Thought, embracing the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. We light the 10th candle for inclusivity, affirming that all are welcome here. And as Clay lights the healing candle, please put silently into the light names of loved ones, knowing that they have the experience of Spirit's eternal love. So I invite you at this time to close your eyes if it is safe to do so. In this one life, this one all-providing source, this very essence of our being, every breath that we take, every moment is God expressing in our very life, in our very breath. We are the living embodiment of this oneness, this love, this compassion, this forgiveness. For in every moment, we open ourselves to the goodness of life. We have the opportunity always to share our gift of beingness, of oneness, of truth and light, for we are light beings. Every cell in our body has a special light that we energize with our thinking, with our truth, with our knowing, for we know this power within. And I give great thanks for this service, for all who make it possible, for the office staff, for the bookstore, and for your board who serves tirelessly, for your practitioners who love you ceaselessly. We love you. And we are so grateful and thankful for Reverend Karen and her message today. Let it lift you up. I am so grateful, and I just release this word, knowing it is already heard. It is already acted upon by Spirit forevermore. And together we say, and so it is.
Thank you, Lori. Such a beautiful prayer. Thank you. I wrote this song called The Ocean because I was inspired by the ancient Sufi mystic Rumi. And you'll see why as soon as you hear it. One of the many, or one of the few, insignificant, or ego crashing through. Where do I belong in everything I see? Am I part of something? Is it part of me? I am not just a drop in the ocean. I am not just a wave on the sea. I am love, I am life, set in motion. The whole
That's me. Part of the problem or part of the cure. Sometimes a renegade and sometimes so unsure. Where do I belong in everything I see? Am I part of something? Is it part of me? I am not just a drop in the ocean. No, I am not just a wave on the sea. I am love, I am life, set in motion. The whole ocean in a drop, that's me, yeah. Sacred and profane, by any other name, the rose would smell as sweet. Divinely human, all, never play it small. The world is at your feet. Keep your head in the stars and your toes in the sand. 'Cause you are not just a drop in the ocean. You are not just a wave on the sea. You are love, you are life, set in motion. The whole ocean in a drop, and I am not just a drop in the ocean. No, I'm not just a wave on the sea. I am love, I am life, set in motion. The whole ocean in a drop. The ocean in a drop. The entire ocean in a drop. That's me. Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Chris. Thank you.
Woo! This is a new gizmo on my head. So we're seeing how it goes. You guys can hear me, huh? This way I can gesticulate. It's good. Gesticulating is okay. It's all right. Oh my goodness. So, first of all, I was watching last week. How many of you were here or watching last week? You online? Yeah. How about Reverend David Allen Cruz, my friend? Right? He knocked it out of the park, I would have to say. And we're definitely going to have him back. How do you guys feel about that?
Yeah.
All right, good. If I was less secure, I'd be a little jealous. They might not like me as much as David Allen Cruz. No, it's okay. I'm very secure in that. So, I want to update you guys because you've been praying for my husband's back recovery since his surgery. And before he had the surgery, which was, a question, do you do surgery, do you not do surgery? We finally decided to do the surgery. He was in pain for about, 4 months, like level 8 out of 10. Some of you can relate, you're having pain, maybe now. Oh, and here he comes. There he is. He's walking down the thing right now. Don't bend. All right. No bending, lifting, or twisting. But he wanted to come out and be with you guys, and he's sitting with Maria in the sound room. So thank you for your amazing prayer work. You guys, this stuff really works. So he has 0 pain today. 0. Yeah. So immediately I put him to work in the soundproof. That's enough laying around when you're, that's enough. In my house, you're gonna do your game. Okay. I also want to catch you up on the ongoing saga of my baby leaving the nest, my 19-year-old daughter going off to college for real, actually going to live there. So she did her first year of college at home in her bedroom. Not a great idea. She got straight A's, but still, poor thing. She wanted that experience, right? So I am going to caravan with her a week, 6 days from now. Who's counting the days? I'll be caravanning with her with my car filled with some stuff for her, and I'm going to be dropping off my baby at university in Santa Barbara. So, I did a bit of grieving this week. It was weird. I mean, I know that it's the best thing. I'm so excited for her. She's ready to fly, right? And then I'm like, but you're leaving me here. I'm going to miss you, and So I had to go through that process. So I would say if any of you can relate to letting go this week, which we kind of talked about in the sister circle yesterday, letting go, it's a thing. And you don't just do it once and done. Sometimes you have to let go again and again. So that's my catch up. That's where we're at today. I wanted to say, yes, Sister Circle was yesterday. We had a great guest visiting us, Reverend Susan Hartlight, which you guys had here for a while, who is now in New Orleans area and experienced the hurricane recently. We were all sending her our prayers. She's doing great. She wrote this fabulous new book, which we'll have in the bookstore. And so anyway, Reverend Susan was great. Join the Sister Circle if you haven't joined us. It's just a Zoom. It's like for an hour. It's worth it, right? Okay. End of speech about the Sister Circle. Okay. I did also want to tell you a story about this religious science minister that I heard about. So I think he'd been a minister for about 30 years. You'd think he knows the ropes by now, right? He's very, very good at praying, very, very good at being a minister. But he's still not satisfied. Something's missing. He's not got the abundance he wants. He doesn't have, I'm following the 5 steps of prayer treatment. I'm just not manifesting abundance. What is wrong with me? So he decides to kind of change it up a little bit and do kind of a throwback to like old style prayer, which we call, I don't know if we call it old style prayer, but traditional prayer, which is more beseeching and kind of begging to a God that's kind of outside with a beard on a throne, right? I don't know if any of you have experienced being raised with that. That was my God for quite a while. And so this minister decides, you know what? I'm done with this 5 steps of prayer business. I'm just gonna talk to God. I'm just gonna get on my knees and talk to God. So he goes to pray. I'm not gonna go on my knees because I won't get up again. But and he starts praying, and he says, I'm just gonna call out to God. God! And he hears a voice, yes? God, you're a woman? Oh, yes. I thought so. Somehow in me I knew you might be a woman. So God, I have so many questions for you. Will you please answer a few questions? Of course I will. Okay, my first question to you, God. What's 1,000,000 years like to you, God? How fast does that go by? How slow? What's 1,000,000 years like? And God says in her wisdom, she says, well, to me, 1,000,000 years is like a second. Wow, all right. Okay, one more question. So God, what's $1 million like to you then? God answers him, well, to me, $1 million is like a penny. He's like, wow, I've been doing this wrong all these years. All I gotta do is talk to God. Okay, one last question, God. One last question. God, can I have a penny? And God in her wisdom says, give me a second. I feel sorry for that poor religious science minister, honestly. Did he deserve that? I don't know. Okay. So, we are We are in September. New banners. We're in September. And last week, Reverend David Allen Cruz, introduced the idea of reaching higher. So all month, we're going to be focusing on reaching higher. So this is week 2. Week 2 is transcend and include. It sounds kind of complicated, but it's really not. I'll make sure it's not complicated for you at all. Transcend and include. I was thinking to myself, what does that even mean? But we will figure this out together. Okay. To transcend and include. We've been talking about evolution. These are hard to see, a little bit hard to see with the spiral dynamics. There was a thing called spiral dynamics. It was very popular to teach about maybe 5-10 years ago or more, and it's still popular. You can still find classes in spiral dynamics. The idea is that we're always spiraling up through our phases of evolution to our highest good, to our highest consciousness. So we are always evolving up, UP, unlimited potential. So there really is no top of the spiral, it just goes on to infinity. But it starts out at the bottom, almost like if you've done any work about the chakras, the Indian idea of chakras, energy centers in your body. Starting at the lowest is kind of, basic security, finding food, feeling safe. And then you move on, and then you get to interact with other people and, stop having wars and stop fighting. And then eventually you become self-actualized. You figure out who you are. Who am I? What am I doing here? Like Dr. Hudson said a few weeks ago. Who am I? What am I doing here? That's spiral dynamics, assuming that we're always kind of reaching up. So this theme today, transcend, is all about just going up that spiral. And we start with right where we are. Wherever we are, obviously, that's where we have to start from. So it's not like a moving sidewalk or an escalator. You can kind of run and go faster and get to the other side. This is an evolution of a spiral, okay? So you've got to go up the spiral to get the evolution. We are now in what's called the 10 days of awe, starting this coming Wednesday, which is Rosh Hashanah. Hello to our Jewish friends and family out there, Lashana Tova, which is the Jewish New Year. And there's 10 days between the Jewish New Year and Yom Kippur, which is the Day of Atonement, where there's fasting and praying. And basically, you look over the past year of your life and you go, where did I miss the mark? Where did I not quite hit what I was supposed to be doing? Where was I unkind? Where did I need to forgive myself or others? And so, on that day, it's a day of atonement, or you could say at-one-ment. Because they say you return to the Lord, and we know basically you're just becoming aware again of the divine, and that we are the divine. So, celebrating the 10 days of awe is important when we start thinking about forgiveness and compassion in this reaching higher spiral. Because forgiveness and compassion are necessary when we think about things like 9/11, which was the 20th anniversary yesterday, 20 years. My daughter wasn't even born when that happened. And it changed the world forever. People are still healing and grieving and trying to get their lives back together. And in religious science, we don't say, it's all good when it's not. It's not our job to say it's all good when it's pain, grief, sadness. It's okay to acknowledge that. That's part of our life. It's part of our human experience. But what we do get to do, we do get to know that the greatest force in the universe is always love. Always, no matter what, behind everything, in everything. How do we find the love? How do we find the love in this? Well, one aspect is to think about how close we got together as a nation, how people helped people, how people showed up for each other. That's taking something horrific and bringing the love to it. You with me so far? Sometimes that's all we can do, is be the love. Because things happen. So forgiveness. forgive the people that caused this to happen. And what does that mean? Does that mean letting people off the hook when they do terrible things? Does that mean it doesn't matter? No, that's not what we teach here either. But we do teach that carrying around unforgiveness and carrying around hatred for anyone, especially ourselves, is toxic. And it's not being the love that Ernest Holmes talks about that we are. So we get to choose when things happen, the cancer diagnosis, the back surgery, my daughter leaving, never being the same again. We get to choose how are we going to respond to these things. We don't have to like it, but we do have to accept it at some level. This is what's happening. This is not a teaching of burying our heads in the sand and affirming it away. Affirmations work when your belief is in the right spot behind it, when you're not coming from a place of unforgiveness. Yes?
Yes.
So, Dr. Ernest Holmes said, we cannot manifest love when we have a mental equivalent of hate in our hearts and minds. Now, I know David Allen Cruz talked about this last week, about the mental equivalent. It's kind of a fancy term for just saying, what are we equal to? What are we putting out there that's going to be drawn into what we're experiencing? So you've met people who just walk around just like with the, like Eeyore, with the cloud of just terrible raining over their head, not able to actually get out of their own way and actually get into any joy or gratitude at all. Are they going to be equal to a joyous life experience? What mental equivalent are they sending out into the universe as far as what they are vibrationally equal to? Because we're all energy. We're going to talk about that a little bit more in just a minute. But Dr. Ernest Holmes does have these wise words. You know, you can't give away what you don't have. You can't ask for peace when you don't have peace in your own heart, in your own home. You can ask for it, but it's probably not going to show up. If it does show up, it's not going to stay. We have to evolve our consciousness, transcend our past history or things that are keeping us from enjoying the love that we are. Let them go. Again, letting go. I love Dr. Colin Tipping. I was lucky to sing when he was a speaker at the Unity Center several years ago. He wrote a fabulous book called Radical Forgiveness, and he also wrote a book called Radical Self-Forgiveness. And those are really great books to study and read and do. Colin Tipping says radical forgiveness is much more than the mere letting go of the past. It's more than that. It's the key to creating the life that we want and the world that we want. It's the key to our own happiness and the key to world peace. It is no longer an option. It is our destiny. The difference with radical forgiveness is that we forgive when it, on paper, makes no sense to forgive that situation. You know that there are women and men in prison incarcerated for murder, and there's a whole program around the victims' families making peace with that person. It sounds radical and crazy to do that, but who are we setting free here? Who are we setting free? Ourselves. So we don't forgive what happened. We don't say it was right that it happened. We accept the fact of it happening, and then we cut the cord of attachment to the hurt. And we move ourselves forward, up that spiral, to self-awareness and being the love that we are. We bring that love. Because, as I said before, everything is energy. And I hope those of you online will be able to see this. We'll see. Let's hear what Dr. Michael Beckwith says about uplifting our consciousness.
We are vibrational beings. We're not just flesh and blood. If you put anything under a microscope, an intense microscope, you're going to ultimately see that everything is vibration. And as the scientists are not telling us, there's information there, but it's not solid. It's always moving. So we're vibrational beings. So as you were just saying, when we lift our vibration to what we want to experience, it happens first on a vibratory level, and then it shows up and manifests in our life. So people who are holding on to rancor, animosity, they're slowing down their vibration.
Okay, just had an aha there. You're actually, when you recognize your vibrational frequency, you're drawing into yourself all the time, literally, the vibration that is most like what you're putting out.
Right.
Correct?
Right. You cannot, another way of saying is you cannot have what you're not willing to become vibrationally.
Ah.
If you do get it, you'll lose it.
Ah.
You see, this is why people that win the lottery, they lose everything, or they'll finally get the person they think they want to be with. They can't keep the relationship, or they'll get a modicum of success but can't hold on to it because inside they weren't vibrationally aligned. They really hadn't become it. So you can temporarily manipulate and get things, but to have it completely, you have to lift your vibration and become that in vibration.
Oh, that's so good. You need to repeat it. That is so good. Isn't that look, hallelujah, hallelujah. That is so good.
You're not really attracting things to you, you're really radiating. It's really a radiation.
I can cry right now. I felt that so strongly. That's going to resonate with a lot of people.
Yeah, you're radiating it from within out. It's like if I become the vibrational frequency of love, harmony, peace, and I'm radiating that.
That's the key.
That's the key. We cannot have what we are not willing to embody. We cannot transcend to a self-awareness where we can actually love our enemies with compassion and forgiveness if we can't embody that. All right, I want to have you move your bodies into some energy for just a moment. Take a breath with me. We're going to reconnect to the fact that we are energy right now. I would like you, if you're able to, rub your hands together. Get that heat going, get that energy going. Good. Now, when you're ready, close your eyes and hold your hands just a few inches apart, like you're holding a ball of energy. Feel the tingling between your hands. Feel that connection. Feel that energy. You just created that energy. Take a deep breath. Now put your hands over your heart. I'd like you to repeat after me. My mind and heart are filled with peace. My mind and heart are filled with love. I could never be separate from oneness. Deep breath. And one more time after me. My mind and heart are filled with peace. My mind and heart are filled with peace. My mind and heart are filled with love.
My mind and heart are filled with love.
I can never be separate from oneness.
I can never be separate from oneness.
Now just breathe and let those words of truth sink in to your cells, your body, your heart, your soul. Just let that sink in. That's the truth. When you're ready, just open your eyes, release your hands. That's what Ernest Holmes was talking about. When we have a mindset and a heart set of hate versus love, of violence versus peace. It's not an energetical match. As Dr. Beckman said, we're all energy. So we're broadcasting all the time, subconsciously and consciously, broadcasting our own energy of our beliefs, our feelings, I had a rough day, or I'm so beaten down, nothing ever goes right for me, or I'm having the best day ever, everything's going right for me, life is so good. Okay, you feel the difference in the energy. What are we broadcasting? And guess what? What comes back to us is what's energetically matching that. That's the good news and the bad news. You can't walk around like this and, have a happy energy come into your life. And you don't pretend that it's okay either. If you are walking around like this, that's okay. It's just part of the journey on the spiral. Love and accept yourself. Cross your hands over your chest. My mind and heart are filled with love. So when you're feeling bedraggled, love yourself. Bring the love. Bring the love. That's our job. Bring the love. All right, let's see if we can do the other side. I can point it there. Yes. Once so far. Usually anyway. David did it too. Once. Okay. All right. Transcend and include. That's the talk of the day, because oneness is what you get when you transcend separateness. So we need to learn to see that there's no other. Yes, we're different. Yes, we're multi-individuals of the one. So we don't focus on the differences, we focus on the love that we all are within. And I love this quote from Martin Luther King Jr. We are tied together in the single garment of destiny, caught in an inescapable network of mutuality. It's that old thing when a butterfly flaps its wings, in South America, it changes everything everywhere. We cannot be separate. We're breathing the same air. Da Vinci breathed this air. Mozart breathed this air. We're sharing this air. We're all together on this little planet, whirling through space, sharing the same air. Okay. When one is hurting, we are all hurting. That's the point. And that brings me to my closing talk idea about Indra's net. And I've talked about this maybe a year ago. So it's a metaphorical tale about the god Indra. And Buddhists use this tale to explain oneness. But the beauty of the tale of Indra's net is that the god Indra has an infinite net, like a spider web, stretching in infinity, in all directions above his head. And in each little meeting where the little network meets, there's an eye, or a little jewel. That's us. That's us. Okay. We're each one of those little jewels in the net. Everybody is their own jewel in the net. But the cool thing about Indra's net is that each jewel reflects all the other jewels. So the reflection of all the other jewels is in this jewel. It's in that jewel. It's in that jewel. And all the other jewels are reflected, including my reflection, in that jewel, and that jewel, and that jewel. When anything changes with any one of those jewels, it affects all of our reflection. Do you get how that works? Yeah? Give you something. Yeah. Yeah, okay. That is Indra's net. Interbeing, intercausality, and we have to transcend and include. Include all is God. All is one thing. And the deepest, biggest meaning of that is all is love. Somewhere behind all the tragedies and the pain and the human suffering, we bring the love, we find the love. I attended a ministers' conference online this past week for newly licensed Centers for Spiritual Living ministers. And the spiritual leader of Centers for Spiritual Living, Dr. Edward Hillion, was asked a question by one of our 40-some ministers. You know, what advice would you give for a new minister entering into Centers for Spiritual Living as a minister? And he had not been asked that question before, which I thought was very unusual. But he answered, and he was very serious. He said, so much has happened to people. So much pain, so much loss. You're going to work with people who are angry and upset and grieving and disenfranchised and feeling separate. We are not called as ministers in an easy time in our evolutionary spiral. So our job is to hold the space for them. Hold that space of allowing those feelings and remember who we are and bring the love. All we can do is love on each other. You know, that's the best thing we can do. When something happens to one of you jewels, that affects me. So be kind to all those jewels you meet out there this week. Someone may be suffering and you don't even know what they're going through. Hold the space. Hold the space. Hold the space of love. Let's go into prayer. What I know in this moment, beyond a shadow of a doubt or a grief or a fear, what I know in this moment is that we are inseparable. We are one with all that is. We are not the drop in the ocean. We are not the wave on the sea. We are the entire ocean in the one drop, in the wave. You cannot separate the wave from the ocean. This is who we are. We are one beingness, and we are made of love. That is who and what we are. So I know and I claim for each one here and each one online and around the universe, wherever you may be, I know and I claim that that connection is not lost. That at the deepest level, love is in charge of everything. We may not see it, we may not feel it, but we can remember it. We gather here to remember it. We remember it now. That love is all there is. It is the most powerful force. It can heal and prosper and bless all things, make all things new. I trust in that. I let go. I let go of false beliefs and old ideas that keep me stuck on that spiral. I allow others to evolve at their own pace. I just love on them, knowing that that's loving on myself. I'm just so grateful to be here in this difficult time for some, be here in this joyous time for others, just to be here, connected in Indra's net for eternity. So with great gratitude, I simply just allow my word to go into the law, that metaphysical law of love that makes it so every single time. And we affirm this by saying, and so it is. Thank you so much. Namaste. So now we come to our giving time. And I'm going to get to the right page here. Perfect. This is all about circulating that energy. This energy that we're talking about right now is the energy of money, but it's a consciousness of abundance. It's a feeling, and it's an energy that we share, and it circulates around and comes right back to us. We know that this universe is unlimited and abundant. So we use this time in our service to open up that flow of abundance, to circulate that energy with great, great gratitude. So for now, we're not passing baskets yet, but you'll see there is a basket right in the middle of the aisle there on your way to the foyer. And you can drop your contribution there. We also make it easy to give online. You can download the Give Plus app, which I really love, because I just set it and forget it. Every week it just contributes. And I know that that's coming back to me in other unlimited ways. So Give Plus app is great. You can go to our website and donate from there. HI-desertcsl.org. And just scroll all the way down to the donate button, or the donut button. Whatever you see that looks like a donut, or a donut with an E on the end. You could do the donate button, is even better. So I'd love it if we could read together out loud our declaration of affirmative giving, and it's just inside your program on the left-hand side. Okay, let's read this out together. Divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless. It is evidence of my conviction that God is the source and substance of my supply. I joyously contribute to the vision of this spiritual center, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly. All right. Now you can stand up and shake your booty if you want to, but we're still not singing together, but here we go. God is my source.
God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks. For all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. Peace is my source. Peace is my power. Peace gives me everything I need. So I give thanks. For all my blessings. Peace gives me everything I need. Joy is my source. Joy is my power. Joy gives me everything I need. So I give thanks. For all my blessings. Joy gives me everything I need. Back to God. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks. All my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need.
All right. I'm going to take a moment just to bless our gifts today, and just to know that they do great work in our community and out in the world. And with generous hearts, you are giving and sharing of yourselves and your love and your money and your talent and your time. And I'm so grateful for that. So just blessing these gifts, knowing that they return to all of us multiplied abundantly. Okay, so I want to invite your practitioners up to the stage. How many do we have left? I say that because it's vacation time, right? So it's not as if everyone is just disappearing like an episode of Twilight Zone, but it is vacation time, so we do have a few practitioners out in the world today. And guess what? We're sending you, if you're watching on vacation, if you are experiencing anything that is difficult for you right now, these practitioners and more, which you'll see more next week, these practitioners are trained, licensed. They can help you, okay? So take advantage of them. You'll see them in the back after service. If you have an urgent or pressing issue, connect, okay? All right. So now, I would like Lori, I'm going to put the slide on, and I would like Lori to guide us in doing our affirmation one more time for the end of the day. I'm always surprised when it works. Why is that? Okay. Go ahead, Lori. I'll get out of your way. All right.
Okay, let's say that together. I am one with all that is. One love, one life, one power. I am one with all that is. One love, one life, one power. One more time. I am one with all that is. One love, one life, one power.
That's it. So, benediction. I just want you all to know that you are infinitely blessed, just as you are, just where you are, just who you are. Repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening through me right now. It's happening through my heart, through my mind, and every aspect of my life. I think it. I believe it, I know it, and so it is. All right.